What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Michigan State basketball has a top 25 matchup in the Breslin Center this Saturday night. Obviously, Michigan State, number 22 in the country currently, playing host to John Calipari and the number 14th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks at 7 o'clock on Fox on Saturday night in the Breslin Center. This has been a matchup we have looked forward to all summer long since it has been announced earlier this summer. A part of this Michigan State non-conference slate that is always tough, and that is no exception this year. Now, Arkansas, they have played one game so far this year, a 109-77 win over Southern. We're going to kind of get into it. That's kind of what we have to go off of. You know, obviously a one-game sample size for both of these teams, but we're going to kind of go down the roster here a little bit, what we can expect from Arkansas going into this one, and kind of what we want to see from Michigan State, what we think that they'll have to do in this one to come away with a big-time home win, top 25 home win. That is, but before you jump in, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. So, as I said, Arkansas opened their season at home with the 109-77 win against Southern. And when you go down their roster, obviously, you know, we'll start with their guards, because when you think of Coach Cal, you think of his dynamic guards that he has coached throughout his career, both at Kentucky and, you know, obviously now here at Arkansas. Mainly you think of here, obviously, you can go further back for Coach Cal, but starting off with Darius Acuff Jr., and he's a name, if you're a Michigan State basketball fan that follows recruiting, or if you're just from the state of Michigan, it's a name you might be familiar with. Obviously started, you know, his high school career here. Grew up here in Michigan, but then eventually did transfer and, you know, committed to Coach Cal and is a freshman there for them now. And, you know, his first game, he played 29 minutes, 22 points, 4 assists, had a steal and a block as well. But he is not the only guard by any means for them. DJ Wagner, a guy who has played for Coach Cal his whole college career, came over with him from Kentucky as well. He played 32 minutes. He only had 8 points, but he also had 4 rebounds, 7 assists, kind of do it all guard for Coach Cal. He's a 6'3" guy. When you look at Darius Acuff, 6'1". Another name to look at, Malik Thomas. He stands at 6'3" as well, so a little bit on the bigger side as opposed to Darius Acuff. But Malik Thomas came off the bench, actually, and he had 21 points, 29 minutes as well, so played the same amount as Darius Acuff. But he had 21 points. He had 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. He's a very, very dynamic guard, and they have him coming off the bench. I believe him and Darius in the recruiting rankings, if I remember correctly, were like 1 behind each other. They were right there. So I'm interested to see kind of how this plays out for Arkansas, both in this early part of the season and as they move throughout their season here. And then you move to their wings. You had Billy Richmond III, 6 points and then 3 rebounds for him in the opening game as well. Trevin Brazil, one of their big guys, his 6'10" senior, 25 points. He was absolutely big, 25 and 11, double-double for him, 1 block. And then Nick Pringle closing out that starting lineup. That's another 6'10" guy. He had 8 points and 8 rebounds, and really dynamic on the board. Obviously, you know, this is obviously only a 1-game sample size, but 45 total rebounds as a team. We already mentioned Malik Thomas off the bench for them in Arkansas, but they also had Isaiah Sealy, who is a 6'7" freshman. He added 12 points as well off the bench. Definitely a name to look out for. And then lastly, Malik Ewan, a very athletic 6'10" senior, coming off the bench, played in 18 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds. And overall, that first game, shot about 36% from the 3. They got to the free throw line, shot 29 free throws, 25 for 29, 86% for them. Shot 50% overall from the field. 10 steals, 4 blocks, only turned it over 9 times. So when I'm thinking about Arkansas, obviously you're thinking about guard play, but when you watch the tape of them too, they're just very long, very athletic overall. So that's definitely something that Michigan State is going to have to, you know, contend with in this game, and, you know, be able to get in gaps, get in passing lanes, and, you know, definitely something to look at for Michigan State, obviously through the first, you know, the 2 exhibitions and the opening game this past Monday is the defense. We think, at least I believe, that this can be for Michigan State a top 3 or so defense in the Big Ten. But we've had good individual defensive moments, but sometimes the communication so far on defense, which there's a lot of new players in new spots, you know, playing in different rotations. early in the season, you kind of expect it, but with this kind of big time matchup so early on, definitely something going to have to lock in on. And something that we looked at that was really a big point of emphasis in the first exhibition game, got a little bit better in the last two games, the last exhibition and last game, is the point of attack defense. Getting a little bit better. We saw that with the inflated amount of blocks in the first exhibition game against Bowling Green. 14 blocks, I believe Michigan State had. But listen, this is a long athletic team. Not saying Michigan State isn't long and athletic too. Obviously, you got Cohen Carr. You got Carson Cooper there as well. You got other guys who can, go and challenge at the rim. But Arkansas is long and athletic as well. So that point of attack defense, and especially with their dynamic guard and perimeter play and their slashing, they take good angles on slot cuts from some of the little film that we watched as well. So that's just definitely something they're going to have to contain. And I think for this one, obviously, some of their main contributors being Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, and then you even look, obviously Malik Thomas coming off the bench too. But you look at other guys as well on their roster. They're young guys. Isaiah Seeley, a freshman as well, 3 freshmen. DJ Wagner's a junior. He's an upperclassman. Pringle and Ewan, seniors. Brazil, senior. Billy Richmond's a sophomore. So you kind of just hope with guys like Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, who DJ Wagner's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, but Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas presumably will have the ball in their hands quite a bit. But when you look at Acuff and Thomas, those are two guys that had the ball in their hands a lot, accounted for obviously a really big amount of their points. 22 points from Acuff, 21 points from Malik Thomas. And then you add in the assists, 7 assists for Thomas, 4 assists for Darius Acuff. That's a lot of their offensive production. Obviously, this is their first big-time college matchup on the road in the Breslin Center. Obviously, not an easy place to play. So you hope that you can lean on that and hope that the crowd shows up and maybe affects them quite a bit. Obviously, they are incredibly talented and, can play in any gym. But you hope that the zone, the Breslin Center as a whole can, maybe get to them a little bit, and Michigan State can kind of maybe take advantage of some freshman mistakes in a big-time environment, first big-time environment of their college career. So that is one good thing about having this matchup early and having it at home. Maybe can hopefully take a little bit of advantage of that, but we'll see what they can do there. But this is definitely going to be a tall task for Michigan State. And when you look at Michigan State, what they kind of need to do to win this thing, I talked about the point of attack and gap defense for this one, and not leaving open shooters. As we said, shot it fairly well in the first game, about 36% Arkansas did. So something they're going to have to contend with. And Michigan State, I think this is one that you're going to have to obviously get out, run, get in transition. And obviously that does start with your defense. We're talking about the point of attack defense, gap defense, creating steals. Obviously Arkansas did not turn it over a lot in their first game, only 9 turnovers, but forcing some turnovers, big time environment, getting out, running, Jeremy Cohen, getting things rolling in the fast break that way. But also I think at times with how big of a game this is and getting defensive stops, Arkansas is a good defensive team as well. So I think this is going to come down to as well, yes, being able to get stops on defense, get out and run in transition to create those, momentum plays and moments. We kind of saw that in the first game for Michigan State too, where things were kind of in a lull, and then that's what Jeremy Steele, boom, fast break, Jeremy Steele, boom, fast break, Cohen dunk, everything kind of gets turning. Going to look for more of that in this game, but I think being able to execute in the half-court offense, which is definitely something that Michigan State is still trying to find in the early part of this year. Obviously looking for that 2-guard position. Kurtang's been the starter. Trey Fort has played pretty well in his minutes off the bench so far. We've seen a lot of good moments from Jordan Scott. This is a big moment for Jordan Scott and Cam Ward. First big game, obviously, here as freshmen. So definitely something to watch out for. But I'm really just looking for Jeremy to kind of control the pace, control the game, keep his turnovers down. He was solid in the first game and has been solid overall so far. And as a team, as we said, Michigan State, keep that between 8 to 12. Do that, and then you got to be able to hit some knockdown open threes, hoping for, especially with Arkansas on the road. Hopefully you can force some, mismatches and miscommunication on the perimeter, get you some open looks on the wing, top of the key, jacks on the trail, threes as well, or, sprays, and, Cohen got to be able to knock down that corner 3. But other guys in that position as well, whether Jordan Scott, Trey Fort, Kurtang. But I know it sounds simple, but defend, rebound, run, obviously mantra of the program. I think that's going to be the main part here, but you're going to have to hit some open threes, which I think Michigan State, Jeremy, and their offense, kind of rolling, can create those open threes. Guys just need to be in the positions and step in with confidence and knock them down. Now, I do kind of want to see as well, if you remember senior day last year against that school down the road, we were less than 10 seconds in, and Jeremy was getting into it with the school down the road's guards. Not like anything crazy, but he was definitely had some words, getting the team riled up, getting the fans, the Izzone, the Breslin Center riled up as well. Looking for that as well to kind of set the tone early, especially with, as I said, these young guards that Arkansas, heavily relies on too. So I want to see Jeremy setting the tone, Jax, Cohen, everyone setting the tone early on. And when your leaders are setting the tone too, to kind of get everything rolling, you can get out to a fast start that can pay dividends too, especially at home. Now, when we head over to Bart Torvik, they have Arkansas as the number 15th rated team in the country currently. Obviously, still early on, only a one-game sample size, but top 20 in both offensive and defensive adjusted efficiency. When you flip over to Michigan State, Bart Torvik has them as the number 26th overall team currently. And obviously, still only the first game and adjusted efficiency. Michigan State 46th, top 10 in defensive adjusted efficiency, though, currently at number 9. Another quick note, too. Michigan State free throws. They obviously, we were all very, very upset and, concerned about the free throws after, the exhibition and the first game. That's got to be improved. Getting to the line, I think this team is going to be good at getting to the line. Got to be knocking them down, though. Can't have the type of misses that we had last game, especially in a game like this. It's going to bite you. If you miss those type of free throws, it's going to bite you in this game. So, want to see that shirt up here in a big-time moment at home against Arkansas. So Bart Torvik has this as a 77-75 Michigan State win, so expecting a really good game in the Breslin Center. Cannot wait to be in attendance. Obviously, if you're at home too, hey, it's go green, wear white. Campus is going to be kind of crazy too. A lot of stuff going on throughout the day. And right before, obviously, because they're right next door as well, Michigan State hockey, which is the number 1 hockey team in the nation, playing host to Penn State, which is the number 3 team in the country. So a big-time matchup. Friday night, Michigan State hockey wins it in overtime. So they're looking to continue that at 4 o'clock in Munn. And then afterwards, hey, if you can, go to both. They usually sell walk-up tickets, standing room-only tickets as well at Munn. So go stand there, watch the Michigan State hockey team, the number 1 team in the country, and then walk on over to the Breslin Center, see this top 25 matchup here in the Breslin Center. Awesome way to start the season. Cannot wait to get to campus tomorrow. Go green, wear white, and we'll be back afterwards to recap everything from this one. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.